Hi, my name's Lorena Sadie. I am the founder and I'm the managing partner of Sadie Law Group. I wanted to do this quick video about reaffirming mortgages, at least here in the Northern District of Georgia, and your mortgage company, your credit report, all that good stuff. So first of all, I probably get, I would say on a monthly basis, I will get 3 or 4 calls from an old client. This is like a case, a Chapter 7 case is what I'm speaking to. A Chapter 7 case from like 7 years ago. And the client will call and they'll say, oh yeah, I talked to my mortgage company and they said that you need, I love it, you need to do this, you need to do that. First of all, bankruptcy law is different in literally every district in the country. It's a little bit different everywhere. So yes, it's federal law, but there's always a nuance in regards to whatever district you file. So the Northern District of Georgia does not look the same as the Northern District of California. Now, I'm pretty sure that the person that you spoke with on at the mortgage company, number one, is not a lawyer. They're probably not even in the bankruptcy department. And they're just saying, oh yeah, this is what we need. Yeah, that's nice. That's not how it works. And so I just want folks to be aware that, when you're in a Chapter 7 case and you have debt, you have secured debt. So you have your car, typically folks reaffirm on a car. Now, you have to reaffirm on the car here in Georgia if you don't want them to pick up the car, even if you're current. But mortgages, you don't have to reaffirm on a first or second mortgage. And I'll be honest, most of the time, even when you reaffirm, they're not going to report on your credit. So that doesn't help you in terms of, oh, they're going to keep reporting on your credit. But what the mortgage companies will do is when folks typically they're wanting to refinance, this is what happens. They want to refinance with their lender goes in and goes, oh, you did a bankruptcy. You didn't reaffirm. You need to call your lawyer and tell them they need to get this filed in your case. Listen, your case is discharged. Most of these cases have been discharged for years. The bankruptcy court, just gonna save you the suspense. They are not going to reopen your case just so you can file a reaffirmation from years ago because the lender wants you to do it that way. It's not going to happen. That is a waste of court resources. You're going to get charged for the court to then probably deny it. So just heads up about that. I always tell folks, if you really want to pay me like $1,200 to file a motion to reopen your case, then file a reaff that the court is they're going to deny it and tell you, no, just move on because it's not required. You don't have to do it. So I get it. You want to refinance, whatnot. Here, let me just give you a tip. You don't have to refinance with your lender. You can go to another lender. You can apply for a refinance. If you've been making your mortgage payments, you should have proof that you've been making your mortgage payments. Now, you are more than welcome on your credit report. You can, if on your credit report it shows that that the loan has been discharged, but you want to put a note on there or something, you can do that. You can go through the credit reporting agencies and put a note that the payments are still being made, but you can just go to another lender. You don't have to use the same lender. Again, I can't tell, and it's frustrating because when we file our clients' cases, please review your attorney-client agreement. This is all in there. And I realize, it's like out of sight, out of mind. It's been years. But it's in there. So you do not have to reaffirm your mortgage here in the Northern District of Georgia. You can keep just making your payments and you're good. If you want to reaffirm your mortgage, that has to be done while you are in your Chapter 7 bankruptcy case. After your case is discharged, it is not going to happen. So that is something that you need to decide. So what does it mean? Well, let me give you an example. Back in 2008 and 2009, a lot of people had first and second mortgages before the crash. And so if you filed a bankruptcy and you reaffirmed on your second mortgage, okay? So you have your first, you have your second. Most of the time when there's a foreclosure, the first mortgage company is not going to come after you for a balance. They don't, they're just going to take the property, they move on. Because here in Georgia, getting to a deficiency judgment it's expensive. It's a complicated process. Most residential lenders are not going to do that. It's not like Florida where they do it all the time. But here, if you have a second mortgage or line of credit, whatever you want to call it, it's a mortgage. If you have a second mortgage or a third mortgage and you reaffirm that debt, and let's say you go through your bankruptcy, and then like my folks, in 2010 and 2011, when, everything is crashing, property values are in the toilet. If the lender forecloses, they can sue you. They can collect against you for that second or third mortgage because you reaffirmed it. So when you reaffirm a debt, you are accepting that out of the bankruptcy discharge. So there's a lot of reasons why you probably do not want to reaffirm on a mortgage debt. And here's also newsflash. Even if you reaffirm on debt, does not mean the lender's going to report it on your credit. I'll also get calls about their people's credit reports. Like, oh, my lender's not reporting. Yeah, they don't have to. So just heads up about that. Every lender is different. I cannot tell you what their policy is. That is not my job. I don't work for the mortgage companies. I don't want to work for mortgage companies. And they can change their policies. They can change their policies on a weekly basis. Oh yeah, we're going to report or no. So, if that's what you're banking on, just understand that's, there's a good chance that's not going to happen. So I just want to do this video for folks because I realize there's a lot of confusion and people will go online, right? The legal Google, and it's not the same everywhere. And so, I'll see videos or websites like, oh, you should tell your lawyer to do this. Like, this totally not right. And it just depends on where you are. So it is not a one size fits all. And at least if you filed your case here in the Northern District of Georgia and you're calling years later to want your mortgage reaffirmed, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because it's not required. If you have any questions, I'm always, of course, happy, to try to assist, to give you, tips or whatnot. But if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I'm happy to try and help.